What do you do when the good old days suddenly run out and that life that you always thought would stay the same? Well, it isn't the same anymore. And you weren't prepared for it because you just assumed things would never change. And I've been watching this play out a lot in real time lately. Honestly, it's fascinating and scary at the same time because I'm watching people in their 60s and 70s screaming about this very subject every night on TV now. And people, from what I'm seeing, that's not strength. It's fear and panic all rolled up into one. Because, see, they can feel it. These people can feel their grip on power starting to slip away. And these are the same folks who once had major influence and ran everything in this country, but now they don't. And they can't figure out why. And it's not just one place you see it. I mean, it's everywhere. The collapse of the old guard. It's in politics and business and families, hell, even at the dinner table. A dad's opinion used to shut down the whole conversation. But now the kids will just look at him and roll their eyes and keep right on scrolling. You see, the very people who used to have the final say in every decision that was made in this country, but now nobody's listening, and that eats at them. Because once you're used to being on top, anything less feels like an attack on you. And when you're used to being in charge and always being given an unfair advantage, being forced to play on a more level playing field kind of does something to your head. Some people think that if you just, yell louder, people will start to listen to you again. But louder doesn't mean listen to. And others will cheat and change the rules and try to lock things down to try to favor their group. But control isn't respect, people. You can't force people to care. And still others, they'll just break. You can't take it that the world moved on from them without their permission. So they just totally go and check out. They turn to drugs and alcohol and some much worse than that. But here's what I don't get. Why fight so hard to hold on to something that's already gone? And I mean, you can scream all you want, but that doesn't change the truth. The world changes. That's just what it does. It always has, and it always will. And fighting change is like, fighting the weather. You can fight all you want, right? But you're not going to win. The real problem is that this group built its whole identity on dominance and feeling like they're important. And see, when that disappears, people, there's nothing left. So what do you do when the very things that gave you your relevance in the first place were never really yours to begin with? People, that's the fork in the road. Now, some will adapt. They'll be fine. They'll go about their life and figure out their new place in this world. Most will just turn bitter and sit around and talk a lot about the good old days. But see, nostalgia doesn't make it true, people. Because maybe those days did feel good for them, but for a lot of people, not so much. You see, whole groups were locked out of employment back then. And women, they were told to shut up and get your ass back in that kitchen and cook. And minorities in this country were fighting just to be seen as humans. So when they say things were better back then, they really mean is things were better for me back then. And see, that's not the same as being better for everyone. And when it's somebody else's turn to step up to the reins, you can't stand it. And that's entitlement, people, plain and simple. And you don't have to look very far to see it. Think about the workplace. A new idea is introduced or a way to do something better, right? And then you got that one person who's always like, well, we've always done it this way. And he takes it as disrespect for some reason, but it's not disrespect. It's just that the job is moving forward without him. The real problem is time changed. He didn't. And that's the bigger pattern. Time changed. He didn't. And how many times have you seen this? For instance, at the grocery store, most people will get their stuff and bag it up, scan it, bag it, and get the hell out of the way. They don't take much time. Then you get that one person who gets in front of the machine and they refuse to do what the machine tells them to do. Or they don't know how to operate it. And then they bitch and whine and moan and say the machine's broken or I liked it better back in my day when we had cashiers. Well, the problem in the screen, The problem is time changed, but they didn't. See, that's just how power works. It shifts and it changes, and it always has and it always will. No group stays on top forever, people, and no empire lasts forever. And you can fight it all you want, but it's just like swimming upstream. You're just going to get tired and you're eventually going to drown. Or you take option number 2. Try to find out where you fit in this new world. Reality is most fight it, none will win. It's the same fight we all face in another way. Think about aging, right? Nobody wants to age. I know I don't. And people fight it all day, every day. Surgery, Botox, injections, whatever. But no matter what, in the end, it's still age. And change is exactly the same way. It doesn't ask for and it doesn't need our permission. It just kind of shows up when it wants to. And that's why they're called the old guard people. Because they're still out here guarding something that doesn't even exist anymore. And let me end with this. And think long and hard on this. Old guard. If you're as gifted as you claim, right, and you built all this with your blood, sweat, and tears, why not just go out and make new good old days? Either way, the question stands. And ask yourself this. Are you building for tomorrow, or are you still clinging to yesterday? And people, if you have any thoughts or comments or anything, drop them down below and let's talk about them. Again, here at Man to Man, every voice matters. Your opinion matters. You're free to say what you want. Let's speak on it. But hey, at any rate, I'm Take care of yourself and each other. Show a little more kindness, love, respect. World be a better place. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one.